Hi there. Welcome back with me in English Unit 9, Cities of the World. And I'm gonna be with you here today in section Skills 2. Now let's take a look at what we'll have today. In this section, we'll have two skills, listening and writing. In listening, we'll have 3 activities, and in writing we have 2 activities. So let's get started with listening. Now look at activity number 1. Look at the pictures and what do you see? So what do you see in the pictures? Yeah, a building. Here is a museum. Here, very easy one, the islands. And here is a street, right? So do you know what building is it? Yes, it's Royal Palace. Okay, in Royal Palace in Stockholm, Sweden. Here, do you know who is he? Yeah, he is Alfred Nobel. Do you know Nobel Prize? Yes, very famous prize in the world, very famous awards in the world. And here, the street here, where is it? Yes, somewhere in Stockholm, Sweden. Somewhere in Sweden, I don't know. And here you can see 2 islands. So here is the pictures or the photos of Sweden. Okay. Now we move to activity number 2. Listen and take true or false. Now let's take a look at the 5 sentences below. 1. The Royal Palace is one of the largest places in Europe. 2. The biggest part of Stockholm is the Old Town. 3. Today, the Old Town doesn't have any cafes, restaurants, or shops. 4. The Nobel Peace Prize is awarded in Stockholm. And 5. The Nobel Prize is presented by the Swedish Prime Minister. So, now once again you look at these sentences and there are some new words that I'll have you. Royal Palace. Yes, the Royal Palace is a palace for king or for queen, something. Okay. The largest, the biggest one. Okay. The cafe, the restaurant, the shop, easy one. The Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, Nobel Peace Prize. There are a lot of prizes. There are a lot of Nobel Prizes. The prize for math, the prize for economics, the prize for chemistry, etc. The prize for literature and the prize for peace. So the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded, right, in Stockholm. The Nobel Prize is presented. Okay, so the one who gave the prize to the winner, okay, is Swedish Prime Minister. Prime Minister. Yes, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc is the Prime Minister of Vietnam. Okay. Alright, so you look at the sentences here and you listen to the recording and you put a tick on both true or false. Okay?
Sweden's capital city is built on 14 islands and has a 700-year-old history. The oldest part of Stockholm is the Old Town. Here you can visit the Royal Palace, one of Europe's largest and most dynamic palaces. There are about 3,000 people living in the old town today, and it's a place with cafes, restaurants, shops, and museums, including the Nobel Museum. Stockholm is also the city where Nobel Prizes, except for the Nobel Peace Prize, are awarded each year. On the 10th of December, the day when Alfred Nobel died, the Nobel Prize winners received their awards from the Swedish king. A Nobel diploma, a medal, and 10 million Swedish crowns per prize.
Now, you listen to the recording again and I'll help you.
Sweden's capital city is built on 14 islands.
Sweden's capital city is built on 14 islands.
And has a 700-year-old history.
700 years old history.
The oldest part of Stockholm.
The oldest part of Stockholm
is the old town.
Is the old town. So look at number 2. The oldest part of Stockholm is the old town, not the biggest part. So the old town is the oldest part of Stockholm, not the biggest part of Stockholm. So number 2 is France.
Here you can visit the Royal Palace, one of Europe's largest and most dynamic palaces.
Oh, so Royal Palace is one of the Europe's largest and most dynamic palaces. Okay, so number 1 is true, largest, most dynamic. Move on.
There are about 3,000 people living in the old town today.
3,000 people living there.
And it's a place with cafes.
And it's a place with cafes,
restaurant, shops,
and shops. But here doesn't have any. So number 3 is France.
And museums, including the Nobel Museum. Stockholm is also the city where Nobel Prizes, except for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, Stockholm is the city of Nobel Prizes, except for Nobel Peace Prize. So number 4 is France.
Are awarded each year. On the 10th of December.
On the 10th of December.
The day when Alfred Nobel died.
The day when Alfred Nobel died.
The Nobel Prize winners received their awards.
The Nobel Prize winners received their awards
from the Swedish king.
From the Swedish king. So Swedish king, not Swedish prime minister. So number 5 again, France. Okay, so we have only number 1 true. So 3, 4, 5 are false. Okay? Yeah. Now we move to activity number 3. Oh, listen again to the talk and fill in the gaps. So you listen to the recording again and you fill in the gaps here. There are 5 sentences and 5 gaps for you. Now you listen and you fill the words.
Sweden's capital city is built on 14 islands. and has a 700-year-old history. The oldest part of Stockholm is the Old Town. Here you can visit the Royal Palace, one of Europe's largest and most dynamic palaces. There are about 3,000 people living in the Old Town today, and it's a place with cafes, restaurants, shops, and museums, including the Nobel Museum. Stockholm is also the city where Nobel Prizes, except for the Nobel Peace Prize, are awarded each year. On the 10th of December, the day when Alfred Nobel died, the Nobel Prize winners received their awards from the Swedish king. A Nobel diploma, a medal, and 10 million Swedish crowns per prize.
Now you listen to the recording again and I'll help you to check.
Sweden's capital city is built on 14 islands.
Although the capital city of Stockholm is built in 14 islands, so the city of Stockholm covers with 14 islands.
And has a 700-year-old history.
So it has 700 years old history. So 700 here.
The oldest part of Stockholm is the Old Town. Here you can visit the Royal Palace, one of Europe's largest and most dynamic palaces. There are about 3,000 people living in the Old Town today.
So 3,000 people living in the Old Town.
And it's a place with cafes, restaurants, shops, and museums, including the Nobel Museum. Stockholm is also the city where Nobel Prizes, except for the Nobel Peace Prize, are awarded each year. On the 10th of December,
on the 10th of December, so December the 10th, December the 10th,
the day when Alfred Nobel died, the Nobel Prize winners received their awards from the Swedish king. A Nobel diploma, a medal, and 10 million Swedish crowns.
10 million Swedish crowns. Now we move to writing. Today we learn how to write a holiday postcard. So now think about the 5 W's and 1 H. Include the answer in your postcard. So to write a postcard, you need 5 W's and 1 H. That means 5 questions with who, what, when, where, why, which, right? And 1 H with how, alright? Okay, so to answer this question, you can write a postcard, a holiday postcard. Okay, yeah. Now you look at activity number 4. Rearrange the words to make sentences. So number 1, Stockholm fantastic is. Yeah, Stockholm is fantastic. 2, Dallas were in. Yes, we're in Dallas. 3, a good time we're having here. Yeah, we're having a good time here. 4, love Disneyland. I love Disneyland. 5. Must come. You must come. Okay. 6. You wish I were here. Yeah, I wish you were here. So you look at the learning tip here. There's not much space on the postcard, so keep it short and sweet. Use exclamation marks. So here is exclamation mark. Here. Yeah, remember, in a postcard there are not much space, so when you write a postcard, keep it short and sweet. Okay. Now number 5. Now write a postcard. Use the notes about the city you have chosen in speaking for. Page 32. So here is, I'll show you an example, just an example. Okay, it's just for fun, so you can take a look at my writing, my postcard. Okay, I'm looking at while I'm writing, I'm taking a look at my postcards, and I do the same thing, right? I write a similar postcard, so you can have a look. April the 8th, 2020. Dear Grandpa and Grandma, you can say I have been on the longest holiday ever. The Corona holiday. Corona holiday. I am quarantining myself. I'm quarantining myself at home with my family. Okay, and I think doing social distancing give me more chance to experience many interesting things with my family. Now I can do many things like cleaning the house, doing washing up, making things, example just like flower or doll, or okay, anything, right? My younger brother doing things with me, right? Tomorrow we'll case, right? We are learning to make case with my mom. All right. So wish you were here. Wish you were here, right? Love coffee man. All right. So this is a postcard to my grandpa and grandma during Corona quarantining period time. Okay, it's just for fun. Okay, all right. So Unit 9, Cities of the World, Section Skills 2 is finished here. Thank you for watching. Bye bye, and see you in looking back.